Did you know, according to the American Heart Association, that 9 out of 10 Americans consumes too much sodium? The excessive use of salt, sodium, can lead to many health conditions. Today we're here with Riverside Healthcare's Chief Clinical Dietitian, Erin, to go over a few tips to help us reduce our sodium intake and live longer, healthier lives. 9 out of 10 is a really shocking statistic. What is the recommended intake of sodium?
We want to keep our sodium intake to less than 1,500 milligrams a day for heart health.
Wow, and that doesn't seem like a very high number. I know that there's a lot of hidden sodium in the foods that we consume. So what are some of the foods to watch out for?
Well, most Americans think that they're getting a lot of sodium from using the salt shaker, but really and truly 75% of sodium intake comes from the processed foods that we eat. So anything packaged, frozen, even restaurant meals can provide a lot of sodium in the diet.
So it's really important to be watching labels, checking ingredients in the different restaurant meals that are prepared and things like that.
Definitely. I always advise patients when they're looking at food labels, we want to look for foods that have less than 140 milligrams of sodium per serving.
But there are ways to reduce your sodium intake without sacrificing flavor.
Absolutely. There's so many ways. You can take garlic powder or onion powder instead of garlic, salt, and onion salt to flavor your food. You can definitely use lemon juice, oregano, parsley, thyme, various herbs and spices to flavor the food, make it taste really flavorful, especially during the summer. The local farmer's market has all kinds of fresh fruits and vegetables too to add as side dishes. And you can use a salt substitute. You just want to make sure you talk to your cardiologist to make sure it's safe.
What are some examples of foods that are lower in sodium?
We can do fresh fruits and vegetables from our local farmers market. We can certainly do lean proteins like fish, chicken, turkey. We can also do low-fat dairy, so your skim milk, your low-fat yogurt.
So what about other kinds of salt, like sea salt, for example?
That's a question I really get a lot, and there's a big misconception that sea salt, if you will, is healthier than table salt. And unfortunately, sea salt has just as much sodium as table salt, so you're better off using some of the things that we talked about earlier to flavor your food.
And there is a bit of a stigma attached to cooking fresh and using fresh ingredients that it might be too expensive, but that's actually not the case.
It really isn't. There's all different ways that you can save money. When you go to your local grocery store, you can certainly buy off-label brands of herbs. They're just the same thing as the name brand, and you do save some money in your pocketbook. You can definitely go to your local farmer's market and buy lots of fresh herbs and spices there that are in season, and you can save money in that way.
And that's really going to improve your overall health. What are some of the health conditions that an increased level of sodium can put you at risk for?
A high sodium intake can put you at risk for diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke, migraines, chronic kidney disease, and also congestive heart failure.
That really is quite a long list. So if it's just something as simple as reducing your level of sodium, why not if it improves your overall health?
Absolutely. There's definitely a misperception that when we throw away the salt shaker that our food is not going to taste good. But really doing some experimenting in the kitchen, by using some different fresh herbs and spices, your food is not only going to taste good, it's going to smell good, it's also going to look really good, which I don't know about you, I love to eat food that looks and tastes and smells good.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You're going to look at your food, you're going to feel better about what you're eating, feel better about yourself, and your health will improve in the process.
Absolutely.
All of these tips can be used to help you reduce your sodium intake and practice healthier eating habits. At the dinner table, pass the flavor, not the salt.